Bitcoin has been a bit disappointing this week. Ethereum, less so, but there's some very interesting things happening right now with the dollar index in the stock markets that we need to talk about because that directly affects what's happening in crypto. My name's Lark. I make videos on investing. If you do enjoy that topic, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up on this video as well. Now let's go ahead and get into it. And let's start off today by talking about the dollar index, which just hit a new 20-year high of 110.8. It is trending back downwards now after hitting into our downtrend line here on the RSI, which I think is very, very interesting and noteworthy because last time we've had these peaks has coincided with stock market rallies and crypto rallies. So we could see this dollar index coming down quite a bit over the next couple of weeks. For example, especially depending, I think the wild factor, of course, is the inflation data coming out on Tuesday next week. If that's a positive event for the market, we could see this come down even farther as people say, hey, let's take on a little more risk. If that inflation data comes in higher than expected, people will start running away from risk again. That's kind of the correlation we've been seeing here. But let's take a look at some very interesting things here, because once we see these peaks coming in for the dollar index, we tend to see the stock market's moving in a certain way, and that of course then influences what happens to the risk appetite in crypto. So we can see July 14th and also June 14th, 2 days, right? So we had a peak here on the RSI and a second peak here where actually ran into basically what established our downtrend line here. So we can see June 14th almost coincided with this year's bottom for the S&P 500, which actually happened on June 17th. Then July 14th coincided with a local bottom at 37.22 for the S&P 500. Now that's very, very interesting because we just got, again, this RSI reading of a potential short-term peak, which could lead to a rally. Because in both these situations, right, in late June, we saw the dollar index topping out. That followed a rally in the stock markets. Same thing that happened on the 14th of July. In fact, the July 14th one started a major rally. Saw the S&P 500 go from 37.22 all the way up to 43.25. That's very, very significant. So we could be getting ready for a potentially significant rally. Again, if the macro picture with inflation data and all that stuff holds up for us, then we could be seeing a rally forming up here for the S&P 500. Again, a bear market rally, not a new trend, not a new bull market kicking off, right? But a bear market rally, nevertheless, potentially bringing us up as high as maybe around 41.75 or maybe even just around 4100, the nice big fat round number that markets seem to like so much. Now that 41.75 in particular, it's an interesting level, and that would be a logical point to see the market kind of faltering a bit. Maybe we even get as high as testing the downtrend line. But regardless of how high we go, I expect, again, this will be a little more than a bear market rally, but that could bode well for Bitcoin and Ethereum. More on that in just a moment. But real quick before we do, if you do not have an account over on Bybit yet, you have got to get yourself one. It is the best place to long and short all the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, loads of altcoins. You can get 0% maker fees when trading on their futures markets, as well as $4,450 in deposit bonuses. And for a potentially limited time, we have 0 fees on all spot trading pairs. So all the spot markets you can trade for 0 fees. Use the link down below in the description to start your account and take part in those benefits. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as we said, has had a disappointing week. We finally broke out of our 10-day sideways range to the downside. Volume was lacking, interest was lacking, fear was high. Of course, we came down. We got down to $18,500. We're getting a bit of a bounce. Now we are coming back up to try to, well, break past the previous support, which is around $19,600. That is now acting as price resistance for us. But if we can get a daily candle closed above around $19,600, I think that sets us up for an interesting potential where we could even see, with this bear market rally thesis coming in for stocks, potentially a rally up to maybe even around, for example, 22,500 or even as high as maybe the 23,000 $1,000 range during this bear market rally. But we really need to see Bitcoin convincingly put some volume in, get a decent daily close back over this short-term area of price resistance before we can start fantasizing about getting a bigger rally coming in here for Bitcoin. We could, for example, next week when the Ethereum merge happens, people might start selling the merge, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. They might start selling the news on the merge once it actually happens. Maybe some of that money will start flowing back into Bitcoin, providing a bit of thesis there for a potential run up to those levels. If Bitcoin does that, I think we'll see altcoins outperforming, as they always do, because this is a relatively small move for Bitcoin if we get up to these levels. We're only talking a 15-20% move, right? Where altcoins in that scenario would likely perform much, much better. Taking a quick look at Ethereum here too before we finish up the video. Ethereum as well, the other day when we had that big market correction, came down a lot and fast, all the way down to $1,490. However, unlike Bitcoin, which is struggling to get back above previous support, Ethereum came right back up and basically got right back to trading at the same level that it was before that big market event happened, before we got that big dip down to 1490. Now we're 6 days away from the Ethereum merge right now. I think 1800 is a feasible target for that. It's not a very big target though, it's only about 9% up higher from here. But 1800 would be a logical place to see over the next few days, especially considering that in 4 days' time, we do have that inflation data coming in, which could rattle the markets a bit depending on which way that goes. However, in the best scenario, we could still potentially see a 20% rally on just irrational exuberance as people are super excited about the Ethereum merge. That gets up to a $2,000 price point, which would put in a potentially big double top here for Ethereum. Again, I think we're going to see this sell the news. That's not to say I'm bearish on Ethereum. That's just the way these events tend to work, especially with the macro conditions being so bearish. Long-term Ethereum bull, short-term, I think we'll see what happens after the Ethereum merge in terms of how the price action plays out. But definitely, I think we could get that $1,800 level coming in. $2,000, possible, less likely, but we'll see how much enthusiasm builds in the run-up to the merge in the coming days. Anyway, just my 2 Stoshis for the day. Let me know what you think about all this down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.